Like Groundhog Day, but for coming. We watched Premature for this week. Sorry. Episode of...
Well, we'll just tell your mother that we ate it all.
Quite soft. I got pills for that.
I hit record for a reason because I knew you'd be able to riff that way into a bit.
Yesterday I sent a vet to the shops to get me Viagra.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
What, you'd like stand there going, but it's for your benefit.
No, she was like,
But it's not for her benefit
No,
either.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
for other women's benefit.
it was
You want other girls to think I'm a stud, don't you? So it finds its way back to you.
It was just, are you going to the shop today? And she goes, yeah. And I go, can you get me medicine? She was like, what are you sick with?
I'm sick with a limp dick.
Soft titties. And she was like, just sighed and did it. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm
Arvo.
sick with drug addiction, and
Yeah.
I need this drug to ensure that I can get a hard penis when
Yeah.
I'm with people after a night of drug addiction.
I actually had sex both last night and this morning without the aid of Viagra. So
Really?
Yeah.
How was it?
I've done that every time I've had sex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is only 4 times,
Good
but
brag,
still.
dude.
no, it's just 'cause
I've been doing sex since I was 27, and in the 5 years that I've done it, I've not, and with 2 different women, and one ended with me coming, and it was fine. The other one, I just kept hitting myself, being like, "What is going on?" And she was like, "You're probably just nervous," and I was like, "I don't value your opinion at all."
yeah, man, it was all right. I was just stoned and drunk, which I don't normally need Viagra for unless I'm like real drunk, and I wasn't real drunk, so it was fine. Everything worked smooth.
I was just gonna be like, if I rubbed your penis now, would it be able to get hard? You reckon? Like, well.
I am sober, but you are a man.
Yeah, but like...
Yeah,
if
but
I-
also, you would fucking love that.
Yeah, you just told me I looked boyish.
You do. You look cute with your
No. Is it going now? Is it moving now?
I got some.
You see it poking through the jorts.
I'm 45% of the way there.
Here's a bit me and Andy were doing the other week.
Yeah.
It's all the craze with kids these days. Turf guns. And kids just aiming guns at each other, being like, all right, get it, duck behind cover, duck. Thunk. And then a woman comes out and she's like, trans people aren't actually women.
It's like an ad. It's like a 90s cheap
Yeah,
TV
yeah.
style ad.
Everyone puts on their like big sunglasses.
Whoa, you got a turf gun?
Yeah, and then someone dives in slow motion and just pops out this woman that's just like, actually, they're all deviants that are just using them to sleep with women.
Jermaine
Yeah.
Greer comes out of a turf gun.
Yeah. And she's just writing a new book while it happens.
Yeah.
We thought that could fill about 30 seconds of content, and I think we hit 25 seconds.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That was sort of a joke in my show about
What, turf
war.
guns? Oh, turf war.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably do a bunch of stuff with that. What else
Yeah.
could we do?
You could do AstroTurf.
AstroTurf. I was about to go.
So it's
a space
a turf in
term.
space. She's got a big helmet on, and it's just like you can't hear anything in space. No one can hear you say that trans people aren't actually women.
It was like Neil Armstrong. That's one small step for man, and also trans women are not real women.
One small step for a man who was born a man and will be that forever.
I watched.
Doesn't matter if you give yourself a pussy.
I watched that movie First Man with the gauze in it about Neil Armstrong, and
Yeah.
that was what he said in the whole thing at the end.
Yeah. I would love to just freak out like Neil Armstrong. Like, you know, because you think about like all these...
What, like scare him?
No.
You mean like hide behind a corner and be like, boo!
You look at all these like figures in history and stuff that we all look up to. Your Neil Armstrongs, your
Jamie
you know,
Clark's.
who's another Gough Whitlam, whatever, revered older men. But like, because they're old men, they're going to be like, wait, what? It's a he, she. Like, they're going to like do it.
Yeah.
They're like, you're actually kind of a
So
shitty
you
person.
mean like a trans person coming up to Neil Armstrong being like, you inspired me to enroll in NASA. And he's like, that's not what I inspired at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
like Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
The crazy man yelling at a chair.
Yeah. He turned out to be a pretty rough dude.
It's pretty funny that, like,
It's not really that surprising.
I mean, like, obviously you can predict it when the movie that he wrote and directed is him shitting on Asian people and still makes him the white savior at the end.
I guess you could have coiled that Clint Eastwood was going to be, you know, conservative when you watch his old movies. It's like, this town ain't big enough for Vietnamese people.
Go ahead.
Do, 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 do.
Go ahead, punk. Get the operation.
Oh man,
I watched that movie a while ago because we were like, oh, what are some
Sorry, real quick. When you get a pussy, can you call your clit Clint Eastwood?
Yeah, that's pretty good. It ain't happy. It's got sunshine. Got my penis in this bag. It's useless, but it's a dong.
It's a good song. Good job. Oh man.
We're doing song parodies and shit. This is a good start to the app. I'm feeling pretty horny, babies.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like we should end the preamble now though, because it'd be in the spirit of the movie.
Yeah. Every time we go to say
just
no,
too
we have
early.
to do it halfway through a joke as well. Just be like, oh man, I've got a story.
and then the whole pod starts again.
Yeah, that would be great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just right now I come and then it just goes, I'm soft. I got a pill for that. Yeah. I remember how the pod opened.
Yeah. The Charlie McCann
one of the
method.
most iconic openings we've had.
Yeah. All right, man, dude, do you want to do this or do you want to talk about the gig I did Friday
let's
night?
talk
were
about
gonna-
the,
yeah, we were gonna
let's
say
talk
this.
about the gig.
Yeah,
So you've had a pretty rough weekend
No.
bomb-wise.
No, I actually did quite well Friday night at the first gig.
Yeah, okay.
I did good. I did in front of a Christian audience at Powerbomb Comedy.
How
Yeah.
many people there were Christians?
About 10 in the audience, I
Yeah,
think.
it was
Right.
10 cast members, but they were like surprisingly up for it if you stuck kind of in their lane.
I did crowd work with one of them about like masturbating and shit, and they were fine. They were good fun.
Well, yeah, like the moment I stepped on stage to introduce the night, and the guy, like the Christian in the front row, was just like, take your shirt off. And I was like, we're in good hands here. But then Amanda Gray talked about getting abortions a bunch. And the third bracket, she was great in like the first two brackets. The third one, it was all about abortions. And like you could see everyone be like, but she ended it with such a killer punch that even the Christians like, yeah,
That's
dude.
a good joke.
Yeah.
So what the setup is we had a Christian documentary for SBS come do some filming in our gig Friday night. So the audience were half fucking Christian.
Well, a quarter. We actually sold out the night as well. But, like, they were fine for the most part. The Christian guy who did it was, I guess, like, we're not going to get sued. A real ding-dong. A bit of a fucking dork. Has claimed he did comedy for a while. I've never fucking heard of him.
He last did comedy in
Alright.
2011, I asked him.
Oh,
Which is the
okay.
year I started.
So post Alan Rutledge, pre Andrew Hastings in the
exactly.
timeline.
Yeah.
But he was like a clean comic, but he was talking about the show Girls. Like it's
Yeah.
still culture, but he called it The Girls, and then was
Yeah.
like, it's about 3 prostitutes, and you're like, there's 4 people
Which
in
I'm
Girls.
pretty sure is a Family Guy joke about Sex in the City.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
a completely ripped off joke. He didn't do very well.
But also, it's funny that the Christian guy gets up there and like uses some like unwoke language, calling them
Yeah.
prostitutes.
Well, I asked
Yeah.
the guy because he was like, he's going to be like 100% clean. Don't even worry about it. And I was like, I'm not worried that he'll say like fuck and bring shame to his family. I'm worried
Yeah.
that he might say some truly fucked shit about gay people or women. He was like, he said to
said
me
a
the
little
funny-
bit fuck shit
he
about
said,
women.
He said the funniest thing to me as well because he was saying like in the interview when they first interviewed him for it, they were like, he was so funny, like he's so natural, like he's like a nervous guy and he's very clean, he's great, and he was like, he's probably going to do real good. And then on the Friday, I was sitting outside having a beer, and he called me again. He was like, "Look, mate, we're all good to go. We've like just because of what the show is, we've listened to the guy's set."
Yeah.
Not as good as I thought it would be. He was like, the first 2 minutes, pretty good. Well, the next 3, not so good. And I was like,
that's
not-
how it went.
I was like, that's not the way you want to do it.
that was how it went. He was doing okay-ish for like the first 2 minutes, but then like it was basically silent for like the last 3
Yeah.
minutes.
Is this a good character? It's like a Christian who's like woke, like he calls them sex workers of Babylon. Stuff like that. That's the only one I've got. It's the
Yeah,
only
he's
example
like,
I've got
Girls
of
is a
it.
show about 3 filthy sex workers.
Yeah. Jesus Christ goes around healing the disabled people, but not that there's anything inherently wrong with being disabled. It's just it's people who want to be. It's not
The lepers, or as I call them, the able-bodied people who just happen to have limbs falling off.
Yeah. He goes and does rallies about gentrification in Jerusalem and stuff.
Yeah.
It's all good. Yeah, no, that was pretty wild. But they interviewed us, and they're not going to use a second of it.
Oh yeah, they interviewed us, and it was weird because for the whole interview we decided to hug.
Yeah, you look like you should have been wearing like one big novelty T-shirt. With
Yeah,
like
we
three
should
heads.
have. And then we just spent the entire time, every time we tried
You,
to
me, and
seriously...
Alex. Yeah.
every time me, Alex, and Hastings tried to seriously answer a question, one of us would reference that Hastings bombed his set.
Did it bomb? I did good. But when this
It's just fun to do when you're on in the group chat, right? Hastings is bombing.
It's gone
Yeah.
to Twitter. It got like several retweets
It
on
got-
Twitter.
It went onto Instagram too.
Oh man. No, it was a fine set. And when this documentary comes out and they show me crushing in the documentary, I will be vindicated.
Well, because the thing on Instagram was it was like a little two things next to each other. Alex posted, which is one, the Hastings is bombing if I had $1, and the other one was the thing you posted saying I bombed at a backyard gig.
Ask
Ask
me
me
anything.
anything.
Yeah.
He said not the same gig.
That's very good. Alex is very funny. Actually
this-
messaged me this morning being like, man, I'm worried I'm bullying Hastings too much, but I love it so much. And I was like, don't worry about it. Hastings is the perfect person to bully because he's just
he could ease up a little.
for someone with depression, he's basically bulletproof.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
You got a couple of you got a
Maybe
couple
the words stink
you got a
sometimes.
couple of you got a couple of chinks in your armor, I would say.
You're not allowed
can't
to call
say
them
that,
You
man.
got a couple of Asian Americans in your armor.
Yeah, man. No,
Yeah, this
I think I saw a thing once where someone said chink in the armor and someone's like, no. And you're like, it's a completely different thing.
yeah, like that's the name for that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like how Alan Jones was right when he said that thing.
Oh dear. Yeah, this backyard.
So
gig.
then what happened was after Powerbomb, I was a little lit up. No one was really out. Rose was having beers with a few mates. I believe one of whom listens to the pod. Thanks for whatever.
Whose house I was at the party last night. Hello, Hannah.
Hey, Hannah. Anyway, so I had one beer. And
I
then
want to
was
be
like,
involved. Hi, Hannah.
That's right. There was that house party around the corner that I wasn't invited to, but Steph Broadbridge told me to crash. I'm going to go to that. So I went to this house party. And it was all good fun. We were all having a good time. There was one girl that every guy there was hitting on. I also hit on her. I too was rejected. Later.
Reminds me of the ranch back in the old days. Just in that there would be one scared looking person while 1,000 horny students would grind their way over to her.
She was loving the attention.
Yeah, yeah, I
Oh,
bet, dude.
that sounded real gross.
No,
She was dressed real provocatively.
yeah.
she was.
What's she wearing, dude?
It was like overalls, but no shirt on.
Oh, that's hot. Actually.
Yeah,
that
like
is-
a bra. It was like she's wearing a bra.
That's
Yeah, that's
HA.
still very
It was
hot.
pretty-
HAS. That's hot as shit,
I would
dude.
love to do that
It was
one day.
pretty hot.
Mm.
Shit, pretty. Anyway, so
Are you hard now?
oh man, I'm rock solid. No, anyway, so
Turgid.
Tumescent.
I
that's
absolutely
such a
got
good word.
rejected. It seemed like she wanted to fuck Pat Doherty at the end of the night. So I don't know I don't know if she did. I don't know what happened with that. But anyway, so then
Pat Doherty sliding into it, being like, I don't even give this guy paid work.
so we're all there.
I really
It's,
give him unpaid.
it's Ben Caution, who's been a guest on the show before.
Yeah.
Pat Doherty, who is oft referenced on this show.
Never will be a guest, though.
Yeah, never.
Mm.
Oh God, no.
Actually, should be a guest because we should just make him watch a movie that sucks and then never talk about it and just have Hastings be like, so why don't you book me for this? And he'd be like, I can't believe I had to watch Total Frat Movie for this.
There was often referenced Freddie McManus was there.
Yeah, I believe wants to do the podcast for a truly insane English
It's a
lark.
Scottish.
Yeah.
It's called Gregory's Girl.
Yeah, it looks so stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Great. Good accent there, Rose, too.
Thank you.
Anyway, but other people were there, but they had all left by this stage. We're all in a conversation. Pat Doherty bombs conversationally, and he's quite embarrassed about that. Everyone's going, no, that was shit, Pat. Fuck
What
you."
was the riff?
I can't remember. I was very drunk and stoned
Okay.
at this point. The cute girl with the overalls kept giving me weed, so I was pretty high at this stage. So anyway, Pat Doherty. Back on the girl. Pat Doherty goes, well, fine. If at least I can fucking do whatever. So the reason there was people at this house party the Comedy House Party, was there was a comedy show that was organised earlier in the night. That had wrapped up and apparently had gone quite well, right? The stage was still there, but everything else had been removed. It was just a regular
So this house
backyard
party
house
had 2 stand-up gigs at it.
Yes.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah. So Pat Doherty just went over to the stage and just started talking, just started crowd working people who were just having beers at this party. And as much as I, have
Was
my
the mic
issues with
on?
him, there was no mic. There was no light and no mic. It was just on a pallet in the backyard.
Your
right?
issues with him, well documented
Yeah.
in this podcast
Yeah.
and group chats throughout the stand-up community in Sydney.
Despite my issues with him, he is such a goddamn charismatic man.
Yeah.
That people just
And
started sitting
really
down
beautiful.
around the stage. People started pulling chairs over. This is fucked. Someone went into the house, got the lights back. Someone started while he's just talking, he's crowd working people, he's doing material. While they get a light, and while that's happening, someone pulls out a PA. They connect the microphone around him while he's talking. So he just started talking, and then light and a microphone and an audience all just materialized
That's so cool.
in front of him. And he just started this gig. And what was funny is
That's like real worthy.
Yeah.
Instead of comedian destroys hacker, it's like comedian
forms
makes gig.
Yeah. Gig forms around comedian.
Yeah.
So he's doing that, and it's all going. And me, Caution, and Freddie especially, we're there going, I can't believe this is working. I can't believe he's done it. He's a fucking genius. I can't believe this is happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all very exciting. Once he's got the microphone and the light, he starts doing material. The material's crushing him. He's like, fuck, he's got him. Bring him up. And then so where they're going, okay, what do we do? Everyone just do 2 minutes of material so they don't get tired. We'll do it real quick so we can't fuck it up.
Doing the Adelaide Mall gig.
Yeah, exactly. I was talking about that gig that night. I was like, yeah, fucking, if we just keep it real tight, we can't lose them. It'll be fine. We just got to, if we just do the gig quickly, it'll be so impressive. So anyway, waiting for Pat. Okay, Pat's, he's got him. And then he keeps doing material, Pat does about 15 minutes longer than he needs to. Has nothing to do with the fact that it's an impromptu gig. It's nothing to do with it outside. He just does too long and loses them. But then starts bringing on the axe. And did I bomb for 2 minutes. I will say Oliver Twist and Ben Caution did very well.
Which material did you do?
I did the family thing.
Yeah.
And I did
Secretly
the
fun.
new bit I've been doing about Tom Sanderson.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you name him as Tom Sanderson?
I believe I did.
You got to in those gigs.
You've named Tom on stage as well.
I've
yeah,
named,
a bunch of
Tom
times.
at those gigs as well.
I think I've named him, pretty consistently in that
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, it's good.
Guys, welcome to World. Just saying mother we hate it all.
I swear to God, this doesn't happen very
A
often.
podcast about busting in your own pants.
Yeah.
And teen sex comedies. The movie we're covering today is called Premature. It's a 2014 American comedy film directed by Dan Beers. Hell yes.
Yeah, I saw that. That's great.
yeah.
It's his directorial debut.
What else has Dan Beers directed? My Bloody Friday Night? Oh, you're welcome back to Drive Time on Triple M.
Yeah,
With Fuckboy and the shit. I'm the shit.
I was gonna say Nugget and the Rat.
That's a good one too.
It's always something and the something.
Yeah, and the second one's always grosser than the first one.
Yeah.
What if it's Fitzy and the Whipper instead of Fitzy?
What about
Fitzy and the
Fitzy?
Whipper, and it's
What if
Michael
it-
Fitzgerald and a slave owner?
The whip. My name's actually John. I just love whipping them.
Fitzy and the Whipper. Man, I'm on fire.
I think
today.
I think you mean Fitzy the Whip.
Fitzy the Whip. All right, let's go. Premature.
Kentucky chick.
My mum used to work with a woman whose name was Sheila Beer.
Ooh.
Oh.
The most Australian name of all time, and she was fucking Canadian.
Yeah. Was she in an ostentatious song or? Was that-
I was at
She's in the crowd during Australiana.
I was at like this book fair this morning because I'm cool and read books.
Oof.
I was just like picking up some stuff for like $3, and I found the ostentatious autobiography.
Fuck
Fucking
yeah.
sick.
I almost bought it, but like I was I had it in my hand, and I was just like, it's so thick that I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
It would be so waffly and self-indulgent. Like, have you ever done a gig with him?
Nah, I've never met him.
I did.
I don't gig with him, but never met him.
I did Quest for the Best, aka Thirst for the Worst. And it was like towards the end of the run when they realized that people were leaving after their friends, after they'd voted for their friends. So they put the headliner on first.
Oh, great.
That was a standard move at that gig.
Yeah, and he was headlining and he did an hour and a quarter.
It was supposed to be a 20-minute spot, I believe.
Yeah, and he filmed it.
Did he do Australiana?
He did, because he there was like an interracial couple. It was like a white guy and an Asian girl.
Oh, no.
In the front row, and he's just like the whole time like going like, "Oh, do you? I'll suck his cock," and shit like that. Like it was fucking brutal.
Very good.
I mean, a good bit's a good
Yeah,
bit.
I mean, like, she probably does sucky.
I'm going to be honest with you. My half Chinese fiance, sometimes she do suck on my cock.
Oh god.
Bong.
Yeah, she
was
gets
like-
annoyed when I say things like that.
It was such a poorly attended gig that like when we got there, Ron and Catherine Bendel were like asking the acts to go and fill out the front, and I managed to score a second row seat next to Alex Wazil, but like there were like the front row included former stand-up hero Martin Lester.
Oh, yes.
So like
One of the greats.
like look at what like this dude has to work with so far is interracial couple, huge fat guy in a Hawaiian shirt, and then Dave Henningham, so, fucking bald guy. And he did like level jokes at like Dave, and it's like, we're doing the gig too, man. And he spends the whole time being like, am I going to do Australiana? Am I going to do it? And then he finally does it. It takes him fucking 15 minutes to do it because he keeps stopping to point out how clever it is. I'm like, you didn't write this.
Yeah, also, it's not that clever.
No.
Also, Ron and Catherine Bender, what are they running now? My Saturday night.
Yes. You're listening to SBS Radio.
I'm Dan Illich, doing the drive time.
Yeah.
ScoMo.
How
Low
about
blow.
that Victorian election, huh?
Yeah,
Yep.
sick.
I believe there was...
The Sictorian election, I call it.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
That was incisive political
The
commentary.
kickflip-torian election. Because I skate and I'm like Beto O'Rourke, really, you know? I skate. I know the people. Ostentatious, yeah, he sucks. Like, have you seen his Twitter like stuff at the moment?
Yeah.
It's so
Who's he
funny.
feuding with at the moment?
Just everyone in comedy that's not him.
I'm
and
blocked
then
by him, and I don't
does
know
all
why.
this weird stuff about Jewish, like people being anti-Semitic that like
Yeah.
almost seems like
he's
it is
he's-
as well.
He's like a Zionist.
He's like a
as well.
Zionist, so he thinks that anyone who's against the Palestinian occupation of... Sorry, the Israeli-Palestinian... Israeli occupation of Palestine is a self-hating Jew.
Ah, okay.
You're half Jewish. Where do you land on this complex global issue?
With Max Brenner.
Bro, I may identify as Jewish, but as a comic, I'm more of a nihilist. So just kill them all, bro.
Let God sort him out?
Yeah.
It's just a ride, man.
Yeah, it's on my trench coat that I wear. I have it carved into my Glock that I carry with me
Would
to all
that be a good
gigs.
podcast if I just get different Jewish comedians on and demand to know where they stand on Israel?
Ben's like, I just have a lot of money.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
I mean, you will have at least a 5-hour episode of Elwood where like it starts with that and then goes into insanely specific stuff about his shitting routine.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're like, where do we end up again?
Yeah,
Starts
yeah.
talking about film.
We don't have a conversation that doesn't end up with us talking about mortality, so, you know.
Who, you and Elwood?
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. I don't think we're good for each other.
I love Elwood. It was so
Same.
funny the other day. We're at Powerbomb and Taunton's moping around because he's been broken up with, and he was like, I'm so depressed. This is probably my lowest moment. And Elwood just looks at me and goes, "What the fuck?"
Sam
like,
Taunton,
you had
for
to
anyone
laugh.
listening, is an absurdly beautiful man.
Yeah, he's so handsome and he's so funny as well.
His
That was
career's going pretty well.
Yeah, that
He's,
wasn't
he's like a super nice dude.
It wasn't a
I
knock
love
on
it.
Sam Taunton. It was just the
Yeah.
idea that Elwood would find this thing and be like, "Oh yeah, of course that."
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Elwood used to constantly go on the rant of like, beautiful people, this isn't for you.
yeah, that's
I
great.
mean, I'm with him. But
Yeah, totally.
yeah, man. I don't know. What were we talking about before we got on?
We were talking
to-
about Boston.
We were trying to
Drive
intro
time.
the podcast.
Yeah. Well, I think we did it. It was directed by Dan Beers, and then we got derailed
Oh,
by
yeah, that's okay.
our new career as Drive Time.
Yeah.
We should like crank call people as part of the Drive
It's
Time
actually
thing.
illegal to do that.
Yeah,
That's why they're all
no, you can't do
staged.
it on the radio. Yeah, Shawn
Yeah.
Michaels used to make me do it for.
I did that for Shawn Michaels once
yeah.
as well. Yeah.
I think I pretended once that I was a person who got cheated on by their girlfriend, and the most fucked thing I did in retaliation was break into a house and steal a dog, and now it's my dog.
My thing was, I found out my dad was having an affair with a man.
Oh.
Yeah.
We tried to crank call someone once and tried to make them think that they were on a segment where we called a random overseas phone number from America, and we like played that like dugga dugga dung. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Like, hi, you're on Drive Time with Marty.
That's a great idea to like just release a series of things where you pretend you're on radio and talk people into winning money and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like if you were like
saying a podcast where you pretend you're on radio is a good idea, Jamie? Is that what you're?
look, I'm working towards something.
That's a thing now.
All right, don't don't shoot my load that early. We're talking about
That's
Premature.
what we're doing in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there anything more to actually say?
Not really. It was just it's just like a list of the cast and the cinematographer, but they're all nobodies.
Oh, the dude, his friend was from Submarine.
Yeah, they're
I like
all
that
from
movie.
stuff. Yeah, Submarine's great. Alan Tudyk's from Firefly.
That was a bizarre thing for
Yeah.
him to turn up in.
Um,
He's very good.
Submarine
Underrated.
is what happens when I do BDSM in the ocean.
Oh boy,
that one was.
you sir are no Pat Doherty.
That one was a reach. But now I think about it, I like it more.
Oh god.
It's what BDSM in the ocean.
Just you
So
in a
good?
gimp mask trying to get out the safe word while you're drowning.
The safe word is help.
I cannot swim.
Mayday.
Yeah, there's no. The movie cost $1 million to make.
This cost
$1 million. I was just doing the Dr.
Really? Only
Evil
1
thing.
million?
Yeah, and
That's real cheap.
I mean, we're not going to guess. It made $5 million in box office. I
That's a
don't-
win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it fucking made
$1 million is surprising.
That would be
This
like if
movie
a
seems
$50 million
incredibly low
movie
budget.
made $250 million.
basically yes. Well done.
Yeah.
This is why you and I are the
Welcome
best.
back to basic maths.
This is why you and I are the only two people who understand the Wayward pre-sale formula.
You halve it and subtract it. You halve it, subtract it from $150. It's not complicated.
carry the one. Use Pythagoras
It was the
theorem.
first time all of us have seen this movie, correct?
Yeah.
What'd you think, Randy?
Honestly, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. Like the writing was okay. Like some of it was actually kind of
I
funny.
laughed
I
at
didn't
the
really
points.
hate anyone.
I can't remember the actor's name, but he's a known actor, the Georgetown guy. The
Alan
guy who
Tudyk.
That's Alan Tudyk
Alan
from
Tudyk.
Firefly.
He's really good in it. I think.
Yeah,
he's
great.
a great actor.
Yeah.
Especially at the end when he's getting drunk and
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and then he like keeps being like, how's it going up there?
yeah.
That really made me
That was
laugh.
great.
Yeah, he's the robot in iRobot.
Yeah.
Really?
He's also
Yeah.
Steve the Pirate from Dodgeball.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, he is too.
Yeah.
I love Dodgeball. What a great movie.
Yeah.
That's a
it's great.
fantastic movie.
Do you think we could? Yeah, we could probably do that
We
for
can
this
do
podcast.
whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, we
Who's
don't-
going to stop us?
We've
Like-
really abandoned.
We've done Venom.
Yeah, fucking Pat's gonna come knocking on the door.
No, it
Hey,
would,
this conceit isn't being upheld.
it would be Alfie who does it, and we
Oh,
just
yeah.
beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did make one note that
One note for the whole thing.
no, I made it like a lot, but like I made one in the middle that where I said it's kind of nice that this dude, based on the movies that we've watched so far, and I know this is a low bar, but it's nice he doesn't use his powers to sexually assault people, and then 5 minutes later, oh man, I take it back.
Well, the
Oh,
thing
yeah.
about sexually assaulting someone if you had this superpower is you could feasibly have it. You go back in time exactly when you're done
And erase
So-
it.
Yeah.
But I was thinking of like, because you know they're old, like the fucking weird, like very predatory, like high school thought game that the boys play where it's like, oh, look, if I froze this moment in time, I could go around and fuck every woman
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
room.
feel
Which is
all their
basically,
tits.
yeah, basically like, I'm going to rape 12 women who
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
16 years old.
Oh, also the conceit for this movie, listener, if
Jeez,
you
no
haven't
one
seen
cut
it,
that one out.
Yeah.
That'd
Yeah.
be a bad one out of context.
Yeah, so the conceit for the movie, listener, if you haven't seen it, it's a guy, it's Groundhog Day, but instead of at the end of the day when he goes back to sleep, it starts again. When he comes, it goes back to the start.
Every time he
again.
busts, it's
But it's
coming.
literally just Groundhog Day. It's
And
exactly
Wakes
like
up
Groundhog
in the
Day.
morning with his mum catching him having had a wet dream.
Yeah. Missed the biggest trick of the whole movie, not to just call it Hog Day, I reckon.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been so easy.
Hey man, do you want to go and see Hog Day?
Groundhog Gay?
But he's not gay.
No, but that's what you do it if it's Groundhog Day, but Bill Murray's gay.
Oh, right. Okay. But that's got nothing to do with the
love
movie
interest
we're
is-
talking about.
The love interest is Mandy McDowell.
Yeah, that's good.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Or it's Malcolm McDowell.
I mean,
from Clockwork Orange.
that's horrid. Oh, man.
But like, yeah, there was, because he could go back in time and bust and just like do really creepy stuff to women all of the time. He only kind of does it once, and I think that's when. Look, I'm going to defend him and say that he had time traveling induced psychosis when he decided to fondle that woman.
Yes, that old chestnut.
Yeah, you know time travel psychosis?
Yeah, man, I got it right now.
But he does do some fucking whack
Some
shit.
unchill shit,
Yeah.
dude.
But largely everyone was quite likable.
Yeah,
Which
even
is a
in
nice change.
it's funny, like, because in lower budget movies such as these, usually the sidekick character is such a breath of vile, poisonous air that this guy like had a girlfriend for some reason.
Yeah,
and was just like,
she was hot.
Well,
Yeah,
it was a girl who was using him to like
get
practice
better at sex.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
and she
So
was,
it makes him like a sympathetic character because he's sort of being used,
Yeah.
but he's like fucking whatever.
the
this
thing where she
rules.
like lets him come on command. I'm like, this is some pretty hardcore shit
Yeah.
for a fucking yeah.
the idea that also the main character came when that happened as
That
well.
was funny. I thought that was
I thought
good.
that was funny, but there were so many moments where I was like, "Oh, come on! You can't possibly bust from being repeatedly kicked in the groin."
Yeah, that was a weird device that came up a few
Well,
times.
because I was like, of course, like when she was stomping on it, I was like, of course he's gonna bust, and they made it go on for just a little long. Where eventually I was like, oh, maybe I gave this movie, maybe I didn't give it enough credit. He doesn't seem like he's busting. He just seems like he's in pain. And then his eyes roll into the back of his head and he's back where he started. It does feel, yeah, like, and I think the partner guy did have like a couple of cute moments. Like when the guy said, like, cornered him, is like, why do you always talk about sex? And he's like, it's a defense mechanism. And then they hugged and had that little moment.
yeah, that's nice.
We should talk about how fucking hot that girl is.
Which the one who's
All
using
of
him for
them.
practice, or the love interest? Because I like the love interest as well.
The nerdy love interest or the love interest like the one who like starts the busting, the blonde haired one.
no, the brown haired one. The one he ends up
the
with.
blonde
at the
haired
end.
one is Jay Quillen from the series of substitute teacher sketches. On Key
Oh,
and
the
Peele.
Key and Peele ones. Jay Quellen. That's actually a great sketch.
Yeah. Also, Aaron was the subject of our lowest ranked movie so far.
Oh, Hopper?
Yeah.
Aaron.
What's his name?
Zach Perlman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also was Jay in the American version of The In-Betweeners.
It's so funny watching Key and Peele now, like
it's
you see it
real
like like yeah, great sketches, but you
Wait, black guys doing comedy?
but it's like some real dumbass sketches. It's
It's
like, man,
2018. That's allowed now.
but it's like, you watch a sketch where they're dressing up as Outcast and doing weird noises
That's
at
a
each other.
fucking
It's a
funny
great
sketch.
sketch, but it's like very silly. And like, it's like, that guy has an Oscar. Like, okay,
Yeah.
that guy won a fucking Oscar.
Yeah.
It's sick. I love it.
That's kind of
I was telling Sam about that the other night. I was like watching some sketches, so Showdown. I was like, this dude here, like, I'm like, you love Brooklyn Nine-Nine, right? I was like, yeah, that's like Chelsea Peretti's husband, and he has a fucking Oscar for
Yeah.
Get Out.
Yeah, crazy. Good on him. Let's do our own Key and Peele.
I was going to say let's write a horror movie.
Okay.
That seems like the go, but
I'm pretty twisted.
we should do one like because we can't.
Can like on the poster going to be like, from the twisted mind of Andrew Hastings.
From the
That
twisted.
hasn't already been on your fucking comedy
Yeah.
posters.
If that is not, it should be on all of them from,
From the
here
twisted
on out.
mind of Andrew
Yeah,
Hastings.
comes emo 2, emo harder, or whatever it is.
My next hour is actually called a vulgar
Display
display
of
of comedy.
comedy.
So look out for that in your various festival guides in
was
Melbourne and Sydney specifically.
Very upset that I didn't get to be the one that punched you in the face for.
Yeah, Ben Squires ended up being the guy to punch.
Did he
me in the
actually
face.
end up hitting you?
Yeah. Steph
Hard?
Broadbridge is working on the poster now. No, it was all staged.
Man.
You wanted to punch me in the face.
Yeah.
Well, I would have just kind of made it like got up there like it was gonna say, and then just fucking popped you.
One day, you guys can punch me in the face. We'll organize that.
Okay.
Yeah,
The
baby.
box party's going to be pretty wild.
Or if or that could
With
be
cocaine, I won't feel anything.
Yeah, I can't feel my fucking face. Let's go.
that could be a deal we could broker. You could grab my big titties when they come in if I can just full on deck
Ooh,
you.
maybe we can talk about that. That's not a bad option.
Sexual negotiation.
Are you going to do coke at my bucks, Jamie?
No.
Why not? It's my bucks. You got to just do it once.
Why do I have to do what you want?
Because I want you to stay up all night and tell me secrets. I don't want you to get sleepy.
What's where I'm like, oh, sorry, man. I had a really good secret, but I'm just a little tired.
I'm just
I
look.
can't focus probably to get it
What
out.
secrets do you want to know about?
I don't know, like times you were scared.
Times I was scared.
Girls you liked in high school, things like that.
I could. Well, you know which girl I liked in high school.
Well, all right. I'm sure.
Yeah, she was a very long running.
Yeah, she just got married.
I just
Oh,
want to
really?
Yeah.
I just want to have
Katie
a cocaine
Horsburgh.
sleepover with my best friend Jamie Kirk.
Look, we can do like a slumber party.
No,
if that's what you're
cocaine.
aiming for.
Because then you'll go to sleep and I'll miss out.
But wait, okay? So you don't want me to do secrets. You just want me to indulge in your habit.
No, I want you to stay awake.
That's the main part.
So I get more Jamie time.
No, but you really you actually just want to be like, Jamie did the thing.
Obviously that's what I want. Obviously that's what this is about.
If you want to stay up late, you're a drinker. You should just do a bunch of Jaeger bombs.
Yeah.
If I get Amy to say it's okay, will you do it?
You won't get Amy to say it's okay.
Is that why you won't do it? You won't do it?
No. Yeah.
Scared of your wife?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I'm really scared of my wife. Because I tell her all my secrets.
Amy doesn't really...
and if I do something she doesn't like, she'll spread them.
Amy doesn't really cut too loose, does she?
She can. She's at a ladies' brunch at the moment.
Ooh.
I bet you they're doing so much fucking coke.
Yeah, if they were all on the blow, then I'd be like, yeah, I'll do it. No, I wouldn't. You're not going to get me to do it.
Oh, man,
I'll have a vodka Red Bull for every line of cocaine you do.
What about, that's not too many vodka Red Bulls.
Yeah.
Should we talk to him about the time that you and I shot up heroin together?
Yeah, that was pretty
No,
sick.
guys.
But
don't do it without me.
But I will tell you, the heroin that me and Rose did together, it did make me a little sleepy.
Yeah.
The coke that Rose gave me after that made me stay up all night so we could do more heroin.
Yeah.
Guys, I just got a notification from Headspace. Sometimes Headspace sends me nice little reminders and stuff. Do you want me to read it out?
Yeah.
Oh, this is never worth it.
What does it feel like to commute without any music or sound? Does time feel slower or feel different? Just says that on my phone right now. How is that helpful?
It's never worth it.
Your phone-based bits are getting worse.
so bad.
I just want, why does Headspace think that would help me? I don't understand what good that's
So
doing.
you went on a 1-beer date a couple of days ago.
I did, a 1-beer date with an archaeologist.
Yeah, on a day you went. What's involved in a 1-beer date?
Was the archaeologist perhaps named Veronica?
No. Her name was Hannah. She was actually quite sweet.
Yeah, so
it was weird. I was just on my way to meet someone else, and she was like, I'm free for a beer if you want. And I'm like, oh, I can have 1 beer on my way. It was like to meet a friend for some more beers.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I got time for one. Had a 1-beer date, went to the Annandale Hotel near her house, and it was actually really nice. But I got the feeling that she thought I was quite boring. And then she asked me what my hobbies were, and I started talking about pro wrestling nonstop for 20 minutes. I don't think there'll be a second date.
So she thought you were boring, so you decided to double down with pro wrestling.
She texted me. Well, I get excited when people ask me about pro wrestling.
But it sounds like she didn't ask you about pro wrestling.
Yeah, it sounds like you just went, all right.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about the Golden Lovers.
Vince McMahon.
Yeah, I was talking about a New Japan storyline. That's good.
Oh, it's just that's
full on
because that's not even something that she could latch onto. Like at least if you talk about The Rock, like, I know that.
Yeah. It was, but she texted.
So basically, you mansplained wrestling.
Yeah, I feel like I might have lost my touch a little bit. I feel like maybe I'm not the smooth operator I once was.
Or maybe you never had it.
I don't see how that could be true.
I mean, yeah, you can bully Andy for any number of things, but he is an arch cocksman.
Yeah.
He's a root rat.
Yeah. She just texted me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What'd you say? I've been up all night doing cocaine and watching wrestling.
He probably texted her first saying, hey, just about to talk about you on the podcast.
Yeah, would love some stuff because the Headspace bit really bombed.
Yeah.
It was a real Friday night power bomb bit, if you know what I mean.
My set was actually great.
Might be my favorite Andrew Hastings bit now. That you are just going, I'm actually competent. It's never, I'm actually good at MCing or I'm great. It's like, I actually make grade.
Yeah, I'm trying to, because the thing is, I'm not trying to argue that I'm good. I'm trying to refute the claims that I'm bad. So it's easy to argue that I'm okay rather than good.
Yeah, it makes sense. What did she just message you?
She's been sending me archaeology jokes. Because she was complaining
Put
about...
some of these in your little skits.
No, she was saying...
You told her about Friday and she was like, oof, I better write some archaeology jokes.
Did you say, oh yeah, I dig that?
Quite the opposite. She was telling me...
Fucking already better than
She was telling me she only met me because when she told me she was an archaeologist, I asked good questions rather than make a Indiana Jones or Lara Croft joke, and I didn't try and do any jokes about archaeology.
So
I was like, what jokes are there about archaeology? Do you want to hear some archaeology jokes?
Did you say at any point, would you like to excavate my boxer shorts?
Well,
I think there's a big bone to be found. I mean, come on. That's good.
Damn, very good.
Scientists in Australia are saying they found the world's biggest bone buried in your pussy.
That's very good.
Oh, fire. I'm going to have a nap.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, no, tell us.
Anthropologists say that it belonged to a Homo erectus.
It was the Neolithic period. He used tools, in brackets, Viagra.
Well, I thought I fucked up. It's actually just this morning. she
Okay, so
started
what's an
texting me.
archaeology joke?
All right, here we go. Let's get some archaeology jokes up. That bone thing's actually pretty good.
Nothing's going to be better than that.
I might tell her on the second date. So she was saying these are like the worst Tinder opening lines she gets her archaeology
Okay,
jokes.
cool.
Right.
All right. Did you hear about the angry mummy?
No.
He flipped his lid.
Okay.
All right. Why did the
That's
archaeologist?
fucking terrible.
Yeah, that's
Why-
not a good one.
Why did the archaeologist go bankrupt?
Because it's an outdated job.
Because his career was in ruins.
Ah, that's good.
Very clever.
A mummy covered in chocolate and nuts has been discovered in Egypt. Archaeologists believe it may be a Pharaoh Rocher.
Oh, that's the best one. All right, mine comes second to that one.
Yeah.
I used to want to be an archaeologist so bad when I was a kid.
I wanted to be a
was-
paleontologist.
Because I was obsessed with dinosaurs. And
Yeah.
Ross was my favorite friend.
Same.
character.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, it's so crazy that we didn't become friends sooner.
My
Yeah, water.
Every time I mentioned it, I got a pang, and I was like somewhere half across the world.
my long-term ex-girlfriend's like official job title was archaeologist.
It's never as cool as being Indiana Jones, though, is it?
No, but she did pole dancing and
Like Indiana Jones did, famously.
yeah. No, but they make you come up with your like pole name or stripper name. So hers was Indy. 'Cause
That's
of
pretty
Indiana
cool.
Jones.
Hastings just spilled water all over himself.
That was
Speaking of stage names,
immensely.
I had an idea for
clumsy.
when the next time I need to look for a job because I had to delete all my social. I had to make all my social media private.
Here we go. Andy Hastings. Done.
So, no, but my plan isn't for a stage name. I was thinking I'd develop like a corporate name instead of just keep using Andrew Hastings for stage and be like Drew Hastings at work or something.
Someone is rapping on our door.
So I'm not Googling.
For real?
I think so. Did you hear that?
I heard that.
Maybe go check.
Should we just open the door?
Yeah, go check.
I don't know.
Yeah, someone's definitely rapping on the door.
Yeah, it's Sam. I can
It's
hear
Sam. This is good content.
it.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam.
It's all right. What were we talking about? You want a corporate. You want to be called Drew Hastings.
Oh, no, Drew, just something. I want like a stage name for my work so that there can't be overlap between work and comedy.
But your name is
Do a version of your name. Be Andy Thomas.
Yeah, that's actually not bad. Andy Thomas is an astronaut.
Or you could just go by Thomas.
Thomas Hastings for work.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. I actually don't mind the name
But you
Thomas.
already are at this work, so now you'd have to be like, I've changed my
Yeah,
name.
yeah. This would be like for the next time I need a job. 'cause
So
it
when
was
you
a
get
bit of a
fired.
pain.
Because presumably you'll be fired soon.
Well, I mean, history repeats. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I've actually been doing all right at this new job. Let's keep track of this on the pod because it'll be funny when I get fired. in a couple of weeks.
yeah, for
I
sure.
think I'm doing all right.
So did you respond to this girl and say those archaeology jokes are great?
Yeah, and then she was asking.
It would be really funny to reply and then be like, I've got one for you, and send my one with a winky faced emoji, and she'll be like, oh, you're just like all the other people. I
Yeah.
bet you some of the opening lines were like, so you're an archaeologist, I've got a giant bone.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, she was asking me if people tell me jokes, and I said no, they asked me to tell them jokes, which I refuse. I haven't been having much luck on Tinder this time around.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I've lost my touch. Something's
Not
gone wrong.
enough, not enough matches or not good
Not enough
thing?
matches. But my profile's better now.
Maybe we need to get you some new headshots.
Maybe. I just got new headshots.
Have you put them on?
One of them.
Of course you have. Is
Oh.
there one of you on stage as well?
No, none of me on stage. I don't use that.
How do you think, on Tinder, if you've got a microphone in your hand, that person is always going to be less than a year into comedy, probably?
I think so.
I have one of me at what she said because it's like
Yeah, because you skill-wise, you're about a year into comedy.
Yeah, Rose Piper is a year into comedy.
you fucking dirty dog.
Yeah. Who bombed now?
Because it's like it's the only photo that sort of represents what I look like now. Because all the other photos are these like amazing professional makeup jobs.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of things on my face, I was telling Jamie earlier, like I went and got laser again on my face today,
Hot.
and they always put this like cooling gel on your face after, but they don't rub it in properly, and they leave the room, and you can do it, and you look in the mirror, and it just looks like someone's cum all over your face.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Rose actually had one like dropping off her earlobes. Like it's something about
I
Mary,
legitimately
she said.
did.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
so
man.
I was
cool.
walking down the street.
If we go to the movie for a second, I was thinking,
Oh, boo.
I was thinking all the way through this movie, like this is the biggest problem I had with the movie because like
Mine's
I found
the Groundhog Day thing.
well, I found it like moment to moment like quite enjoyable and pleasant.
Yeah.
But what with like the overarching thing of the story, it is so clear right from the start that he's gonna realize he's in love with his nerdy friend.
They really flagged
So
that.
the seams are showing, but it doesn't do a good job getting there, I don't think.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have them... There is no real moment where, like, they slowly bond over the course and he learns it. They spend, like, halfway through the movie, he does that day with her, which seems like it's going to lean that way, and then he sexually assaults someone and beats the shit out of another woman.
That was that same day.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's right. He punches that woman.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucked.
He punches a woman because she bullied him in primary school.
Yeah.
So it's revenge, but he's still beating up a woman. But I guess that's like what have your cake and eat it too thing for the director, because you get to show the shockingness of him decking a woman,
And then
but then
him
to make it
getting
all cool, yeah, he
fucked up.
has to absolutely get owned by it. But yeah, what I was saying is like basically it's so clear that he's going to fall in love with her, and then at the end he does and busts one, and the curse is broken. But throughout the movie, they don't do a good job of making...
Like telegraphing that.
Yeah, or like making it make much logical sense apart from the fact that you are conditioned from these sort of movies to be like, oh, it has to be that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the same with the hot girl who like turns out to be like rude to him. Like she seems nothing but normal and just like kind of into him. And then there's like one conversation where she's just like, yeah, the reasons that you thought I liked you aren't the reasons I like you. And then he's like, well, you're a bitch. And you're like, no, you're a piece of shit for being like, because that's like classic like proud boy nice guy stuff where he's like, you mean like you obviously like me because I'm nice and I treat you different and I actually see that there's someone there. And she's like, no, I just wanted to see your dick, dude. And then he's like, what the fuck?
Oh, no, but she was also like trying to use him to do like work for her.
Yeah, but like he still does.
He still overreacts.
Yeah, he's still a little pussy about
Do you
it.
think, speaking of Proud Boys, do you think I should start a left-wing violent gang and call it the Ashamed Boys?
Yeah, that'd be great.
And like we're ashamed of being men and we're ashamed of being white. And
But you
stuff.
beat
But who-
people up all the time.
Yeah, who are you violent towards?
Nazis.
Yeah. The only people you
It's
can-
also Antifa. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's like it's a wing of Antifa probably. The Ashamed Boys. Do you guys want to join my left-wing gang?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
I mean-
basically the same thing, right? We meet up, have beers, talk about you getting it sucked.
Yeah, but
I'm already in
we
there.
get
Occasionally.
patches
It's
on our
called
jackets.
being
Ah,
a woman,
cool.
and we're coming for y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oof. The future.
They're going to remove our patches.
The future is female.
Do you guys, what's the most obvious a girl has ever hit on you without you realizing? Because like the first scene when she is asking for math tutoring, and even the nerd kid is like, come on, dude, she's trying to fuck. And he's like, I don't know. I was like, oh, this is so clear. Has there ever been a moment where like someone's been hitting on you so bad?
Yeah,
and
my
you've just
fiance.
not realized? Oh, really?
For
Yeah.
years. Like
New Year's Eve several years ago, I was talking to this girl who was like a babe, and presuming I have no chance, I was like being kind of like play arguey with her, and she got up to go to the bathroom or something like that, and our friend like hit me and was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
What? She's like, "She's keen on you." Like, excuse me? And then just as soon as she got back, just immediately changed my attitude.
Yeah.
Just being like, yeah, how you going? I just suddenly became really nice.
have you
It worked.
Have you ever spoken to a doctor about your potential autism?
No.
You maybe should. I just ask. Like there's tests they can do and stuff. Like I'd look into it, man. Mine was
Oh, that's so funny. Not only just telling the trans person on the podcast that they have a mental illness, then cutting the story short to tell your story.
I thought you were done. Keep going.
What was so explicitly autistic about that story?
It's a story about you not reading social cues.
No, but like that was the question I had.
yeah, you
All
fucking
right. I'm saying you've said to me a few times.
So
now,
when you're-
tell your fucking
Yeah,
story.
so you're about to
You
tell
think-
the story, and then Rose can be like, "Have you ever considered that you have autism?"
All right, well, I'm gonna fucking tread on the
saying
bit I was
that
gonna do.
you have said to me a number of times that you suspect you may have mild autism. I'm saying you just told me a story about a time you didn't read social cues. I'm just saying talk to a doctor. That's all I'm saying.
There's also several fucking accounts of reading social cues.
Sure,
I
but
can look
it's not
people
a
in the eye.
binary thing. It's a tendency.
And also, you can diagnose yourself on the internet. It's fine.
It's
Yeah.
literally called a spectrum. Like it's. Anyway,
I've definitely somewhere, but just
yeah,
very low
I'm saying
end.
talk to a doctor.
I'm on the
Why do
cool
I
end.
need to?
I guess that's true. If you actually found out you have autism, it's not like they can do anything about it.
Yeah.
Nor should they have to. Nothing wrong with autists. Anyway, are you done with your story, Rose?
Well, to end the story in a very you way.
Yeah,
she,
dude.
She came
Yeah,
back
you
here
did.
and we totally fucked.
Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah. All right. So my story, I was at a house party.
Sounds pretty autistic.
It does sound very autistic.
So I was actually at Hot Damn 2 years before me and Yvette started dating.
Uh-huh.
And I barely remember this. She's still
Do you
mad
remember
at me.
which time train you got there?
Anyway. So Yvette's still mad at me this day because she was trying to fuck me at Hot Damn 2 years before we started hooking up. She was like, I was throwing myself at you and you just ignored me. She's still mad. I'm like, we're getting married. And then a little bit before we started dating, we were at a house party together and she kept like dropping her keys in front of me and stuff. And later on she was like, you didn't realize I was hitting on you, you fucking idiot.
It's a weird way to hit on someone, though.
She was dropping, like, she was wearing a short dress and kept dropping her keys. No, she's made it. Sorry, Sam just asked, was she accidentally? Yvette's made it very clear to me what she was doing.
Yeah, man. I think you might have to go and see the doc.
I've actually already have.
Yeah.
Or did they tell you that you are anywhere on a spectrum?
ADHD, maybe. But not autism. They're like, you definitely don't have autism. Any weird social stuff is just me being kind of a dick.
Yeah.
I like those bits where every time Andy tells a story and you and I are just cheekily looking at each other. Like, where are we going to go with
Where
this?
does this go?
Anyway, and then I'd proposed to her. Yeah, did it. Yeah,
boy.
fucking boys.
I've had that. Yeah, I've definitely had it happen. Like, and I think it does stem from Rose's thing where you don't think you have a shot with them.
Absolutely.
So
that's where
you're
mine came
just
from.
being flirty because you're like, oh, there's no way. So like, I can kind of go for broke. Nothing's gonna happen, and then you realize like, I once was so fucking drunk at Toledo's, and like, I was just like,
I don't know what Toledo's is, but based on the name, you'd hope you'd want to be fucking
It's
drunk.
a cocktail
It's the
bar
chic
in
cocktail
Newtown.
bar in Newtown.
Yeah,
Where is it?
it's like a rooftop thing.
Across
it's like,
from Istanbul on King.
yeah.
Oh, like above Marley?
It's on the same block.
Yeah, on
to
the same
end
block.
of the block.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
I was just like hammered there one time. And like I just went up with another friend of mine because he was like much more attractive and he was like a little sad boy. So I was trying to like,
Andrew Hastings.
yeah, like the proto Andrew Hastings before I really knew you. And I was trying to like help him out by winging because I was just like, yeah, I've been on Tinder. I'm pretty good at this shit now. And so like I went over and I was like drunk as shit, just like rambling, just thinking like, oh, like at least if I ramble enough, they'll be like, look at this fucking goofball. But the
Yeah.
guy next to him is handsome and occasionally like chimes
Just
in.
trying to
with-
make him look good by
yeah,
comparison.
and chimes in with something witty. It turns out the opposite. He barely said a word, and they thought he was taciturn and weird. But they thought my slapdash approach of scattershotting jokes and anecdotes in no specific order at all was very charming. And then we're walking to the
That's
town.
like living out a sitcom story.
Yeah, we
I love it.
walked to the townie, and like I was telling them, I was
Tale
like,
as old as time.
I was like, there is no fucking way I'm getting into the townie. And
Surprisingly hard to get into.
and they were like, you'll get
it's because
in.
loose people go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, you'll
Boats
get
at a man,
At
it's the
2
same
in the
problem.
morning.
Yeah, they're like, you'll get in, come with us. This girl like holds my hand and is like, we'll just pretend we're together. Of course I didn't get let in. Like I was so drunk
Yeah.
and didn't realize that she was like also like holding my hand because she wanted to.
Yeah.
Like I just thought it was a pure like, oh, she's doing a nice thing to try and get me in there so I can play some big buck. God damn it.
Yeah.
And so I was outside having a cigarette. The girls like come out with the other friend. They're like, oh, we're leaving. And they were like, yeah, like, look, and then the girl comes over to me and it's like, look, yeah, we wanted to keep drinking, but like this girl wants to have sex with you. And it's like, so we've left the bar to come and get you and we're going to go home. And I was like, nah, that doesn't track. And so
Wait,
I
you didn't go?
No. I said to her, I don't believe you. Because like I was mostly talking to both of them. I wasn't really having a lot of private moments with this girl that I can remember. I obviously probably did in the end. But then
Now, how low must your self-esteem have been that you were that drunk and you didn't have that inflated sense of self-esteem?
Well, no, because I thought I was helping a friend. So
Right,
like
yeah.
I had no idea that I was working magic. So like I just thought like, oh, like they've left. And she eventually was like, yeah, look, she wants to go home with you. And I was like, I'm going to need you to get me verbal confirmation for that. And so she went over, talked to the girl who, like, looked at me, like, rolled her eyes, and then came back and she was like, yeah, she still wants to do it. And I was like, all right, home we go. And yeah, we totally fucked after that.
Jamie, have you actually ever spoken to a doctor
about being a fucking rad
No,
cunt?
about your obvious homosexuality.
A doctor could diagnose you as a sick cunt.
Yeah.
Yes,
You yeasty legend, you'd say. Dr. Matty B.
Dr. Matty B.
Dr. Matty B is my
funny
favorite
is it-
off-brand Dr. Mario ripoff.
Man, speaking of Mario, I'm going to get a bunch of video games for Christmas. What are you guys going to get for Christmas? Tits?
All I want for Christmas is my
If
two
only
front
Mum's
tits.
budget didn't go up to only about $400.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm excited
Maybe
for
I will
Christmas.
ask for that though. Just like give me something for the titty fund.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea. It's the first time I'm going to be able to not get money for Christmas in a long time because I'm doing okay financially now.
I want to get.
I just farted, so
I want to
so
get a
good.
damn foot massager.
Really?
Yeah, just one of those ones you put your feet on because I like have varicose veins and stuff, and like my feet hurt a lot because I walk and run a lot.
It's a very Jamie Kirk wedding Christmas gift. That actually makes a lot of sense
Yeah.
to me. Then I'm going to get Pikachu Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah, that's cool. Have you seen the trailer for Detective Pikachu?
Yeah, it's going to be sick.
It fucking looks
I'm
so
like
fun.
psyched
Oh
for
no,
it.
it's happening again.
We should do it on the pod.
Yeah. Oh man, it looks so fun. The only thing I wish
We're
is
not
that,
turning
like,
this into a video game podcast.
that like Ryan Reynolds is the voice
Yeah,
of
I know.
Pikachu, but like in
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
is this that
it's
movie?
weird.
But like
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like in the early versions, like the Detective Pikachu sounded gruff like Danny DeVito. It
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
all
yeah.
right, we got it. I wish it was Danny DeVito and not Ryan
Yeah.
Reynolds.
Well, now it's just
Ash,
The
I'm
problem-
too old for this shit.
it's too similar
Wait,
to
that's Danny Glover.
yeah. It's too old for it's too what's the word? It's too similar to Deadpool. It's too like self-referential, wink at the camera, and it's the same voice because you don't see Deadpool's face either. Too similar to Deadpool. I
Don't you
feel.
see his face before?
Yeah, but I
it
mean, most
becomes?
of the time you don't see. Like you're not. When you think of Deadpool, it's a face.
But it actually, like, for someone who grew up with like very little interest in Pokemon, I watched that and was like, oh, that's pretty charming.
I
I'm
was
into
big
it.
into Pokemon.
Yeah.
I still quite like Pokemon.
I was pretty big into it.
Yeah. Who's your favorite Pokemon?
Well,
Mine's
I mean-
Blastoise.
I mean, yeah,
Blastoise.
Well, Blastoise makes sense.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
He's a turtle to bust.
It's a big cum coming out of those
Yeah.
cannons. Yeah, you got a fave? Can I guess? Charmander.
Squirtle.
no, I always picked Bulbasaur.
Oh, that's that autistic choice. Stop shitting on autistic people.
And
pretty
gay,
uncool that I'm
and gay
doing that.
people.
Yeah, that was
I
a
wasn't
gay
shitting
thing
on
there.
gay people. I was just saying that you're probably gay, and I love you. Like, so it's not.
I'm not.
I think he's asking you out.
Oh, no, whatever. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, no. Bulbasaur is an odd choice. That's like the least popular of the three starters.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm just a fucking edgy iconoclast.
But is that? Would you say that a Bulbasaur or an Ivysaur or a Venusaur is your favorite, or is it that's just the starter favorite and you have a separate favorite?
I don't know. I haven't thought about this for a very long
I
time.
think about this every goddamn day.
Yeah, this does seem like it takes up a lot of your thoughts.
Yeah, I do love Pokemon still. I played the first 5 generations pretty religiously.
Are you gonna get Super Smash?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm also gonna
I'm gonna get
Super
Super
Smash
Yeah.
on fucking Friday night.
With Dan Beers.
Dan Pierce, dude.
I mean, like that one was like a tennis instruction where I lobbed the ball
Yeah.
for you to volley.
Alley-oop for
that
the
was me.
slam dunk.
That was me walking over and putting a T-ball on the field and just be
Yeah.
like, "Go nuts!"
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't make it a sex joke. I did the other one.
Yeah,
could
well,
have
look,
gone
I
either
thought
way.
you could go either way.
It really could have worked.
That's the beauty.
This
of
is
Super
comedy
Smash.
with the bumpers up.
Yeah. and that thing that you push the bowling ball
Yeah, the
down.
little ramp.
Hey, there's a game called Super Smash. Andrew, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. It's like, I mean, like, there's a game called Fuck. Andrew, what do you think?
Yeah, sounds like my. Oh shit!
There's
Fucked it up.
There's a game called Friday Night Flaccid Penis. What is,
Oh, well, I got a. Oh shit!
It'd be funny if you just couldn't do any of them. Like, they were all like, there's one called Taking Back Sundays. Tell all your friends.
Oh, Viagra. No, wrong plug-in.
But baby.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
So yeah, are you gonna get that Super Smash?
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm a big Captain Falcon fan. So
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get it.
Really?
Well, just because like it's so based, it needs to be multiplayer.
Well, in that
and then
case,
if you get it, I'm
I'll
just gonna
get
play it at your
just
house.
Come over, yeah.
Yeah,
We can
yeah.
bring your control. We can fucking.
We
make
gotta
that
play
happen.
fucking Overcooked 2 together.
Yeah, I'm in.
I feel like this could be a conversation for later.
No, you can play Overcooked. It's a game where you cook food in like an assembly line, but you have to do it co-op style.
It's kind of one of those.
That
like,
legitimately what it is?
Absolutely.
it's one of those sort of like quick thinking puzzle games, right? Where it's like, okay, eggs is 2 minutes,
Yeah.
fries is 1 minute,
Like-
so I can do that twice, but I go, and then you
Yeah.
gotta like remember.
So,
it.
like,
Did your like wife buy you this as a way to like condition you into cooking?
No, I'm actually a pretty good cook, but I got it.
yeah.
Like
She got him Stardew Valley. Did she help him take care of the garden?
No, she was mad about that. She was mad I downloaded Stardew Valley and took more care of the imaginary garden than the garden she had set up. When she was always like, "Do you want to see the coriander?" I was like, "No, bitch. I'm planting truss tomatoes in Stardew."
Yeah, man, fuck yeah. I think I want to get Super Smash. I want to get Detective Pikachu, and also got to get some Far Cries and that RD2, brother.
Yeah, I want to get Spider-Man.
I can't. I got an Xbox. Can't do it.
Yeah, I really want to get it.
I was talking to Daniel Towns the other day. See, it's about comedy still, Rose. and he reckons that they will actually release Spider-Man on the Xbox, but there's no way they can because Sony owns the rights.
It could
to
be a
Sp-
timed exclusive.
Yeah, but it's unlikely they would do it at all because Sony literally owns Spider-Man. So
I don't think I'm going to end up getting RDR2.
yeah,
It's just everything
sorry,
I've heard.
RDR2 is what I should have said before.
Yeah,
RDR2.
everything I've heard about Red Dead Redemption 2 seems like the biggest time suck.
Yeah, but it's like the main story's 60 hours.
Yeah, but like even that is too long, and then like
Yeah, that's huge.
I don't think I care about like hunting for pelts.
Man, I did a bit of that in Far Cry and I liked it. So
Yeah, I do like my favorite thing in Red Dead Redemption 2 is just like ignoring like the story and just going into town
Ignoring
and
the
fucking
person
shit
telling
up.
you this is boring as shit.
yeah, see, people with your affliction normally like video games.
What might that be?
Yeah, Overcooked 2, it's all about order and numbers.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, absolutely.
So you're just getting video games.
I'm gonna get books. I'm gonna get back into reading.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna get the Death of WCW by Ryan, whatever his name
Okay.
is.
Yeah, some real good reading.
Yeah. Getting back into books, I'm ordering Men's Health 12-month subscription.
Death of WCW. I want to get Norm Macdonald's book, and there's a couple others.
Oh yeah, Norm Macdonald's book's great.
Yeah.
That's good.
We've talked about that so many fucking times on this podcast. I think.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
dude. I gotta read that. I don't know, but yeah, I like Christmas. Do you guys like Christmas?
Christmas has been weird for me the last couple of years.
That makes sense.
It was really shitty last
I more
year.
mean like not necessarily the day, but like the trees and the decorations and the songs and that sort of thing. The
No.
vibe of Christmas rather than the day itself.
I have
No, I
learned,
get so sick of Christmas carols and shit.
Yeah, I quite like Christmas.
I have learned to enjoy.
I like the time of year.
Yeah,
I have
the
learned
sun
to
is great.
enjoy Australian Christmas slowly.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
because it was to English Christmas.
Yeah. Like I like summer. Like I love the summer. I just don't think it matches well with Christmas time.
Yeah, I like the holiday period.
Yeah.
But
And now I view it more as like, I think like when I grew up in Europe, like Christmas was kind of magical because there was like snow and it was cold and like all that stuff.
Love summer
Now I
Christmas,
do.
though.
Yeah. Well, I like summer Christmas now because I work and get 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I'm not like, oh, isn't summer the most Christmassy thing? I'm just like, nah, it's sick, and someone might give me a couple $100.
It genuinely
Yeah.
is to me though. Like when I think of Christmas, I think of like going for a swim on Christmas Day and stuff. I love that shit.
Yeah.
It's great.
Mm.
But I guess I was born and raised in Australia.
Yeah.
I love Christmas, man. I'm very excited for this time of year. We should do a Christmas movie for the pod.
Yeah, and it's got to be Die Hard.
It's the best Christmas movie.
I actually have really interesting original takes.
We could do
John
Love,
McClane is the Santa Claus of
Love
incels.
Actually.
Yeah, we could do Love Actually.
I really don't like Love Actually.
What about Bad
Well,
Santa?
that is fucking the incorrect opinion.
Bad Santa
On-
would be good. Fuck Me Santa. That's great.
I've never actually seen that.
I do like what's the fucking one?
There has to be a movie like of this ilk that's set
Yeah.
around Christmas.
There's the Seth Rogen one, The Night Before.
Oh yeah, that's on Netflix. At the
Yeah,
moment,
it's got
isn't
the Falcon from.
it? The Falcon's right here.
Yeah. is his name the Falcon in the Avengers? The black
I
dude.
can't remember
Oh,
the actor's
yeah, I
name.
know who you
but
mean.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
it's him, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Seth Rogen.
Now, you're thinking of the Humphrey Bogart, the Maltese Falcon.
Yeah. And they get fucked up around Christmas. It's fun. Also, Harold and Kumar 3 is a Christmas movie.
All right.
Yeah.
We could do that. We could also Love Actually could work. I think that could potentially
And we
work.
could do a New Year's.
Is there
one
not
for
an
the week
American
after.
Pie Christmas or something?
No, a very American Pie Christmas would be
Yeah.
great.
Man, we got to copyright that idea.
Yeah, let's go to the patent office now.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, we'll figure it out. The Seth Rogen one sounds like a good move.
Yeah.
We could do that. But yeah, we should do Christmas theme. What about Valentine's Day? What are the
we
holidays?
could do a New Year's one a week later.
Can we do
Something like
Nightmare
that.
Before Christmas for Halloween?
No.
Is
Moving on.
Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie?
It's
or
actually a Christmas movie. It's a Christmas
I've
movie.
never seen it.
Oh, I love it. We should watch it together.
Of course you love it.
No, it's like unironically, it's a I think it's a great
You?
movie.
A guy
Yeah.
who could have a life-size Jack Skellington tattoo across your chest?
Well, they don't call me the Pumpkin King for nothing.
'Cause
I don't get that reference.
It's so
Presumably it's from that.
Jack Skellington's title is the Pumpkin King.
you're pumping them
This
in.
sounds... Oh, God, I hate this.
It does sound like almost too whimsical.
It's very whimsical.
I really hate Tim Burton movies.
I
for
like
the
Tim
most
Burton.
part.
I hate Tim Burton
I
so
really like
much.
Tim Burton. Again, who would have thought?
I mean, how?
Yeah, you probably like the fucking Charlie and the Chocolate Factory
No,
remake.
that
You-
remake was
Here's a
terrible.
question
That's
for
so
you,
bad.
Andrew. How much do you actually like Tim Burton versus the fact that it's good to like it so you can fuck the girls that you go for?
No, I genuinely...
You're looking for your Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I genuinely really like Tim Burton.
But it is an arrow in your quill, would you say?
Yeah, sure.
That you can pull out the Tim Burton... Because, you've got a bunch. You've got the emo, you're sad,
Yeah.
but deep. You've got comedian.
Yeah.
You've got...
I got a lot of tools
yeah,
in my
you've
belt.
got you've got It's not in your quill; it's in your quiver.
Yeah.
Sorry, you've got and you make them quiver.
Yeah, I've
with
got
that.
non-monogamy. I've got
Big
tattoos. Tattoos works.
big hogany.
Ethical non-monogamy.
Ethical non-monogamy.
Yeah.
That's the selling point.
Mm.
That sounds.
There
Have
are
you been
so-
to a doctor for your ethical non-monogamy?
Yeah, I got to get tests every 3 months to make sure that I don't have a life-threatening STI.
It's actually so much more rife. There are so many people I see on Tinder that are ethically non-monogamous.
Yeah, I don't put ethically in the bio. It's just implied, but yeah, I try to be ethical about it.
You're unethically non-monogamous.
I'm cheating is what I'm saying. I'm cheating on my partner.
Yeah.
And I'm giving you all
At
HIV.
least I'm being upfront about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I also refuse to use condoms.
And I've got an STI.
Yeah, man. Non-monogamy's pretty sick. But Tim Burton's, sure, that's up there. Yeah, that's in there, man.
What's the most useful conversation starter you think you have?
My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, okay. Mine's Buffy.
Yeah.
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 Definitely, has at least got me phone numbers or dates 5 to 6
Yeah,
times.
if I can get into in-depth convo about life on the murder scene, the tour documentary.
If I can get into an in-depth convo about Buffy, I'm
Yeah.
busting that night.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I've watched the Life on the Murder Scene documentary with 3 different women.
Yeah, I've watched where you do favorite episodes of Buffy.
Yeah.
So you you choose one, they choose one,
Yeah,
and then halfway through that first one,
yeah.
The hog's out.
All bets are off.
Do you have a cool one that you say? You don't pick the hack one. You go oh, my favorite one's actually, and then it's one that I think's kind of impressive.
no, mine would probably be mine would definitely be one of the funnier ones, but it wouldn't be no one would choose this one. It would
Yeah,
be,
my favorite. But the thing with My Chemical Romance, when you're talking favorite albums, just don't say Black Parade, and you're interesting.
Do you
And
have one, Rose?
I don't know.
train timetables, cricket statistics?
Surely.
Dog.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at. Surely, do you want to come over and listen to some vinyl?
Yeah, the record collection surely is
Yeah.
coming to
We're
play.
talking about music in general.
Yeah, you're a fucking music snob, and surely that's your move.
You got board games. Are those yours?
I think so.
Try them.
That's a terrible pickup move. If that's
Yeah.
You want to play
You want to come over and play
categories?
Payday?
I don't even know what the fuck Payday is.
It's definitely meant for kids. We had it when we were kids. It's like a month, and you go through it and make deals and get paid stuff, and you can win the lotto. It's very
being Jewish.
Yeah.
The game.
Jesus Christ.
The Rothschild.
That's what it was called.
I'd like to
in
remind the
America.
listener that Jamie is part Jewish. He's allowed to say that.
Yeah, I can say whatever I want.
Yeah, man. On New Year's this year, our big plan was to play Ticket to Ride and do cocaine. And the whole thing being we could lay down some rails, if you know what I mean. All for that joke. Turns
Rails?
out- yeah.
Have you talked to a doctor about it?
About the fact that you're a drug addict.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's come up. It's come up a few times. Yeah, I'm getting health insurance next year, and Yvette's insisting that we include rehab as one of the potential. I was actually talking to an alcoholic friend of ours who was like, you should actually, like, just like in case you need it in 10 years, you should always get insurance that covers rehab. Because if you have to do public health rehab, it's fucked. Like,
Oh, speaking of fucked things, and just to go one more time back to the movie before we cut this, there is a brief interlude in that. I mean, this is let's call it the problematic segment of the movie where he decides to molest a teacher, beat up a woman. But then when he's hiding, his friend decides to do an Asian accent and a black accent while he's in the toilet.
Yeah.
And he's trying to bust, and he's like, oh, like, and I was just, what is this?
yeah. Good comedy.
Yeah, what is it? Yeah, that's why I said, what is this out loud, and Netflix flash good-ass comedy.
Ostentatious-esque.
Yeah. I love it, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, with the Ticket to Ride story, we that joke, turns out cocaine makes board games very boring.
Yeah, of course
and so
it
after
does.
like literally 2 lines, we were like, this sucks. Let's just talk really quick at each other.
Yeah. Let's tell secrets. I will never tell you a secret.
Oh, come on,
Sometimes
man.
I get sad.
Yeah, that's... we can talk about that if you want, man.
Why are you mallioning right now?
I don't know. I like it.
It's not for you.
It's not for
Yeah,
you.
it's not
All
for
right,
you.
I'll go back to the classic. Mallion is a microphone holding technique, listener, by the way. This is... All right, I'll go to the classic Hastings.
Oh, God.
I'm not putting
This
in
is
much
when-
effort,
yeah,
but I'm
this is
still
when you
quite
know it's
fat.
winding down.
I've been on fire today.
Let's
Don't
wind
worry
this
about
down.
that.
Yeah, this was a good
I
episode.
accuse my friends of having autism.
Yeah.
This is upsetting that this has been, well, I think quite a funny episode, but no one's going to listen to the podcast anymore after last week's episode.
Yeah, what will be fun? Like, we're accusing each other of having autism, and everyone's like, I just listened to that fucking playlist. All 3 of you, clearly. So clearly. Like, every time you tried to talk about busting one, you're like, no, let's go back to the music.
My favorite Blink-182 album.
Yeah, at one point it was just like Fat Lip, Lustra, Scotty doesn't know. Yeah, it's going to be garbage. The first 10 minutes are great, though. Just listen to the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, cut off before we actually just start.
But also,
talking
we
about
don't know
it.
what people like, because people seem...
Yeah, I have no idea.
People seem to say they like the podcast.
People, there's like a very popular genre of BuzzFeed list is like, remember these 10 songs?
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
people enjoy it for that. Who the fuck? What the fuck do I know?
Yeah, I assume
They're
that...
like, oh, I forgot about Laid by James.
I bet you there's going to be some nerd that's like, oh, flagpole sitter is what it's called.
Yeah.
Well,
For sure.
That was you.
Yeah.
Both of you.
No,
No,
it
not-
was you.
Yeah, but
No,
like
but you
didn't know what
were
it
the
was
ones
called.
that
What it
didn't
was
know.
Oh,
called.
yeah.
Have you seen that Freddie's been doing a bit about your tattoo, by the way?
Yeah, he did it on Monday, and
Yeah.
I got a huge laugh off the back of it.
Which
saying that it was
tattoo?
cool. My Final Fantasy tattoo.
He
says it's from Final
Fantasy.
Yeah.
tattoo?
He says it's from Final Fantasy VII, which is not true.
I thought it was from Final Fantasy.
It's not
What
true.
FF
it's
is it
actually
from?
Final Fantasy
It's
8.
the franchise as a whole. Like,
Right,
the
okay,
Quechua
right.
is a reoccurring enemy.
But
in
but
Final
you
Fantasy.
but your favorite is 7.
It's up there with my favorites.
I thought 7 was the one.
I think 6,
Oh, we're
and
back
6,
on
7, and
video
8.
games again.
6, 7, and 8 kind of rotate. Although recently I've had a huge fondness for 9, which I didn't like as much at the time.
You know what? You know how I was playing Final Fantasy 6 and then stopped playing because I stopped smoking weed. I think what I'm going to do is for Christmas I'm going to get some weed. And like, because I won't be working, like, and have it for my time off, and have that as like a little treat for myself. So I'll probably play Final Fantasy 6 again.
I'll come smoke weed
I'm
with
just
you.
going to
if we
do
play.
one more shot of heroin. Just want to get high one more time.
I'll come.
I
I will.
smoked weed this morning.
I will. I will come to your house and smoke weed with you if we play Final Fantasy 6.
Yeah, we can absolutely do that.
Yeah.
It's got 2 controllers and shit. We can.
Oh,
we
I
can-
don't need to play. I'm just gonna impart knowledge on you.
All right. Well, great. Let's do that for Christmas break. Absolutely.
Yeah, sick.
Um,
Are you excited? I just agreed to do a drug
I'm
with
very
you.
excited. I'm very excited. I don't have a
He
bong.
is actually got a boner now.
Yeah.
I'm rocked up. Dude.
gonna do the weed. I'm just there to play the game.
He's like bum pumping.
Yeah, just. Oh, I'm toking this bad boy.
Hey, what's that over there?
Just give it to
Ooh,
the cat.
yeah.
Well, I actually need to buy some weed soon because I've smoked so much of our friend Dave's and Bree's weed that like I need,
repay them.
I'm like, it's actually fucked how much of their weed I've spoken recently.
Yeah, but people will happily give away their weed because they just want someone to do it with.
Yeah.
Not me. I was real protective of my weed.
That's because you're poor.
I also like to do it by myself,
Yeah.
which is
okay.
that's like the problem is I can't do it myself. But doing it by myself is my favorite way to do it. Ugh.
All right, well, that'll probably do it before we spiral into Andrew Hastings' self-loathing.
I've had a good day. My day started with a coffee, some weed, and then sex. It was a good way to start a morning. I had a booty call last night and stayed over. It was nice.
Cool, man.
Yeah, hot girl.
Yeah, that'll do it for us. That was a pretty good movie. We talked about it a tiny bit.
Yeah. More than sometimes.
Oh, who cares? We're building from the start again after the playlist.
Yeah.
So this is kind of what the podcast actually is. Us accusing each other of having autism and talking about shooting loads.
Yes.
I mean, pretty much.
Yeah.
Come
Loads of
to
loads.
Come to Powerbomb Comedy and Wayward's Comedy every Friday and Wednesday.
We're coming up on announcement of shows we're doing for festivals and stuff as well. Keep an eye out. I'm doing Vulgar Display of Comedy at Melbourne International Comedy Festival, and I assume Sydney Comedy Festival. Just waiting on them to, send me
Come
an
to
email
comedy
confirm.
at Papagetti's on December 18. Your girl Rosie is MCing.
Ooh.
Luke
and-
Heggie headlining.
And email us at we8all69@gmail.com with any movie recommendations or just general praise. We love that.
Yeah, just anything.
We-
let us know you're listening.
We set it up.
As long as it's written on titties.
Yeah, and it's nice.
Rate
One day
us on
someone's going to do
iTunes.
it.
If anyone says that we should talk about the movie more, you could suck me.
Yeah, Ross.
Not even just Ross, but anyone. Like, there are plenty of fucking shitty movie podcasts.
Yeah, if you want to listen to a movie podcast where they just talk about movies,
Yeah.
listen to any other podcast.
There
that
are
exists.
heaps of shitty movie podcasts. There aren't as many just shitty podcasts.
Yeah.
Which is a niche we fill. So, yeah, that'll do it. To the next step.
To the next step.
Have you seen a doctor about it?